Hey everybody, it's Michelle, Trader Girl ATX. It's 11:04 a.m. in Central Texas. This is my first trade of the day. Woo! And I'm going to take off my TP, my take profit. So here's where I have the debate. Earlier I did put on one little trade here, short, and where it says KO, I got knocked out. My stop loss got hit. It was like $150 loss or something right here where it says KO, but I instantly put on another trade short and just got right back on. So that's it. I did one contract down. I sat through the whole retest and I decided to add size, so I put on one more contract, and then I don't know, somewhere in there I put on a third contract. I want to work on adding to winners and letting winners run, and I am short by nature, but normally I put on, no joke, like 106 trades a day. I don't normally ever hold through the retest. I normally just make it, take it, and it's new for me to even consider that idea. So that's why it's a struggle. Also, I recently started putting this little box on my screen. I mark off the high of that, the meat of that candle there, and then the low of the meat of that candle there, the body. I'm finding that it gives perspective. The pink line shows the midline of the move, so you can see what happened. It went to the low, did a 50% retracement of that move, came back down. Still, it can go either way, right? I'm not used to trading on the top step platform. I normally trade on Quantower. This pink line is the 222 moving average, so you can tell it bounced off that pretty good. Let's see what this green line is here. That's the 9, is that right? Let me double check. No, that's the 666 moving average, so note how it's pointing downward. This is a 15-second chart. So my trade was a really good trade. It's currently up 91 ticks. I'm going to move my TP down, so I'm at least getting some of this. And that's another thing for me. That's new for me. I am not used to holding a trade this long at all. I never hold this long, but I'm trying to figure out new habits, trying to build new habits so that I can become consistently profitable. Of course it takes me out. That's why I hate I hate take profits, because moving my stops, because it makes me mad. I don't like getting taken out. I don't care that it was a profitable trade. I don't know. It looks like those 3 contracts made $380, $350, and $310. So I don't know. That's about $1,000. Okay, it says $893. I had a loss earlier, so 369. Yeah, I mean, that was $1,000 trade, and I had a loss before that for, it looks like 135. Great, so now I gotta start all over and think again. See, nuts, because now I started the live stream, now I'm talking, I'm reverting back to old habits instead of just letting that winner run. As far as I'm concerned, you know, NASDAQ could fall 4,000 points, like literally. So here I am, gonna put on a short. Why? I definitely have a short bias. I'm gonna out myself for that just right away. This little dotted line that's thicker with the dots and the kind of pale pink color, it is the midline of the 200 Bollinger Band on a 15-second chart. So that's what you'd call like a 50% move from the high of the Bollinger Band to the low. So in theory, 50% retracement, it could totally bounce here and shoot on up higher. blow up in my face. So this would be also like the real test for me to cut a loser quickly and not just be overconfident and think, well, it just fell. You know, like it just has been falling since I put on that first trade, and that was a beautiful, beautiful short. But I did go short because, one, that's the trend that's been happening. This move back here to the EMA, the blue line right there, it's a 20 weighted moving average. That is, I see it kind of like a reversion to the mean. And then so it can continue back on its merry little trend down. That's what I would like to see. Part of the reason for that bias is this pale blue line is below the yellow. The yellow line is the fast moving average. This blue line I just showed you is the weighted moving average. So if the weighting average is below the moving average, it's extra weak, thus staying short. Let me see what these little, okay, that's the 9 EMA. That's the other one I really like to watch. Those little blue crosses, the little pale blue baby crosses on there. You know what, I'm going to move my stop loss lower. So it's only 10 ticks. So if I take a loss because it gets strong, it's just 10 ticks. So that's very mature and grown up of me. Not my usual way. Normally I get an idea in my head and I can stick to it. Like it could go down 4,000 points. Let's just stay short forever and ever and ever. And then what happens is these damn buyers keep stepping up and I don't like it. And then I get a loss. Or actually, like I just had that really good trade. I'll get overconfident and think, no worries. I just made almost $900. I can just let this loser run. I have cushion in my account. And that's just really stupid, but that's what I do. That's a thing I do. So like right now, my normal self is really tempted to take this profit right here. I'm going to move my TP down to the EMA and just trail it. To me, that's a very mature and grown-up thing to do as a trader instead of constantly trying to grab or feeling an urgency to grab profits. That's, you know, that's a real thing, man. Real thing. Not gonna lie. I get real anxious. There you go. Knocked me out. So I made $70. I have no idea how much it was actually up. But it was up something. Okay, so why? What do we buy right now? It's 11:12 a.m. That candle closed in the middle. This is just a 15-second chart. There's some power to the downside. I don't know, power might be an exaggeration, but that's the direction we're going. And then look, we get this little green candle out of nowhere. So the question is, it's coming up on 11:15 a.m. Normal people, I suppose, would be buying. But I am not normal. I definitely have a short bias. What's the NASDAQ doing today? It's down a whole, oh wait, that's the S&P. NASDAQ is down a whole 24 points. Poor little princess is down 24 points. Unbelievable. People are probably crying right now. Unbelievable. They just buy at any freaking price. I'm going to sell again. Order filled. Selling the fast moving average, that move. It just came down and kissed the FMA 3 times. But the trend is definitely down. And it's literally down 24 points on the day, which is nothing. I'm going to move my stop down again super tight. Currently at 9 ticks. So no pain. No gain. Might just knock me out because it is super tight. But if there is downward momentum, it will go down. This is the reason why you should just not fight the trend, my friend. Me likey. Okay, we got another down candle. EMA's dropping. I'm moving my stop loss back to the 9 EMA. And where the buyers start getting anxious, they get those upward wicks and they'll knock me out of this trade stat if they're really going to step up and start buying. But because we are coming up on 11:15. Ooh, it might already be 11:15 right this second. Let me move my TP down to that EMA. You know, I might even just grab it. Just grab it. Grab $40 because on those brand new 15-minute candles, those buyers love to step up. And this is me over trading again. See that? This gold line, see where you can see it says 25% here on the lower right hand edge of the chart. Should have stayed in that damn trade. God damn it. Okay, gotta stop over trading and just be gracious and glad and thankful to take the money, damn it. Stop worrying and being afraid about protecting the profits or avoiding the loss. Because instead of taking, when I took 40 at 224, it's now 220. I could have had an extra 4 points easy. Oh, anyway, the first thing I did when I start trading in the morning is I sit down and I write down the levels, the day high, the day low. I write them on a piece of paper and then I start doing the calculations to calculate what's the midline, 50%, and, the 25% and the 75%. And I update those with this little gold line. So you can see up here is the 50%. I hate that little plus sign is covering what I'm trying to show you. The 50% and the 75% and the high. So that all happened. I didn't start trading till late. You can see for perspective, if my first trade was, let's call it around here, around 10:49 a.m. Oh, no wonder I would have got knocked out. Let's see what time I did put that trade on. I entered, God, of course I took a loss on that. I entered at 10:49 in 32 seconds. Right there. Things go crazy at 10 till the hour. All the time. That is a consistent thing I've noticed. So that was just stupid on my part to enter a short at 10:49. I needed to wait till after 10:50. So you can see what happened. Let's see where 10:49 was on the chart. So I entered right around here, which looked like a good short. We were outside the 200 Bollinger Band, but look at how it just marched straight up. I got run over. So the time to enter would have been 10:50 in 45 seconds. See, that was literally the difference of, 1 minute. And I took a loss of $135 when I should have had enough sense in my head to be aware of what time it is and not enter that trade until after 10:50. Damn. The things you learn. But anyway, I did immediately put on a second trade. Waited for it, the retest. It's been a beautiful fall, and I've caught all that. Beautiful. So I'm doing really well so far, but here's where my struggle comes in, because my psychology and my bias against the buying, which is stupid, considering the way the NASDAQ behaves. But I'm just exposing my weaknesses and my mindset. So the question is, what do I do now? This red line here is on the 15-second chart, the lower band of a 200 Bollinger Band. So, of course, it bounced off that. Tried to hit it again. It's bouncing up. This green line here is, I think, it's the 444 moving average. I might have to buy. We're going to try, but I am... Gosh! No, also this pink line is the 50%. Oh, yeah. And then we got the slow moving average right here. That's the 20. Wait, why is that the 20 and not the 50? Okay, don't know why. That is the 50. This yellow line is the 20. I'm going to put on a short.
Order filled.
So I'm shorting the slow moving average, which would be assuming this downtrend can remain in effect. And noticing that midline on my box, I felt it was worth a shot to put on a short right there because it shows... it was basically a reversion to the mean, right? And so there's going to be a fight between this 50 and that 200, that red stripe. So you can see I put on my trade. What's happened since I put it on? It went down. Somebody else thought like me. But the buyers are trying to be themselves. They're trying to buy. I'm going to drop my stop down, my stop loss to the top of the square. 16 ticks away, which is not far. So in case any other little buyers think they want to buy off that lower Bollinger Band, dude, 29 ticks straight out the gate. Love it. I'm moving it down to the AMA. That just took people by surprise. Ha ha. Boom, boom. That was so fast. Already knocked me out. Already hit my TP. That was $270 in seconds. All right, now I got to get back in and have another thought here. See, all the buyers, oh, you know what I'm saying. Enough buyers stepped up to buy there that they could not believe it got rejected. Because this is NASDAQ and it only goes up for months and months and months and months and months and months and months at a fucking time. So I'm going to sell again. Because that trade was too good. People are scared now. Let's see what happens. Doing this live stream, I feel like I'm, I don't know, one of those guys who go on the... Oh, I moved my stop to only a... Oh, look at that! I moved my stop loss to only 6 ticks. So the buyers got mad and they stopped back and said, no, we're buying. Sorry, I'm laughing because I think I love these little fights. I love it when the shorts are having some success because that's so rare. And that whole success may have lasted a mere 45 seconds. But, you know, I got to take my joy when it's there. What I was trying to say is I grew up and we'd watch these shows. It was called like Mutual of Omaha. And there would be some guy who was like the crocodile hunter. If y'all remember Crocodile Dundee or whatever that guy's name is, it Jeff? Like... They would go out on the savannah. I'm shorting again, and that was a bad entry. It was below the fast, below the EMA, below the slow. Bad entry. I need to move my stop loss stat. Hold on. Oh, fuck. I'm going to move it right above that candle. If it's going to go down, it's going to go down. If it's going to go up, I'm going to lose 19 ticks, and that's going to suck. But that's what happened because I put on a bad entry. I was impulsive and acting like my normal impulsive self. But all that said, if it's a good trade, it'll be a good trade. If not, I tried. But I was a grown up and I was good and I left my stop loss in place. Because it is a little fight right now. And I am kind of being stupid. I mean, that was the 200. But I remember there have been days over the last few weeks where the NASDAQ will go up and bounce off that the upper band of the 200 15 times in a row during the day. So I don't know why, as a short, I can't get it to bounce off the lower Bollinger Band 15 times today. I just believe that there should be some sort of fairness in the world, and you can laugh at me for that kind of naive mindset, but here we are. So it's currently looking like we have a lid on the slow moving average, acting as a lid on the way down, but the buyers are not giving up. You can see all these wicks with upward pressure. There you go. Boy, never see it. You don't even see like a wick going up. It knocks me out before it reflects it on the candle. And that's something I've noticed on this Top Step platform yesterday is I'm out of the trade before the candle or the chart even shows what happened. So I just took a 19 tick loss. And honestly, my exit was at 219.75. Huh. Why did it knock me out? Why in the hell, if I had a 19 tick stop loss, did it knock me out of that trade when it was trading at, I'm going to say it was trading right here, 2 ticks away. So that's bullshit. Because it never even showed it on the chart. Unless I'm doing my math wrong and I'm being stupid. I don't have time to think about that right now. But damn, that makes me mad. Because it was a killer trade. Once again. Fuckers. Sorry, I have a full vocabulary. I'm trying to be a good girl, but it just knocked me out of that trade. Oh, and look how good it's doing. Good, meaning the way I wanted it to go. Okay, so this low is the day low, this golden line here. So we just hit a new day low. Buyers are probably in shock. Actually, probably most traders, 99% are probably in shock because it's actually below the 200 Bollinger Band on a 15-second chart. Nobody trades a 15-second chart but me, but you would think it's time to buy. It's almost 11:27 a.m. Okay, I'm going to fight the trend. Guys, those are big candles to the downside. Let me see how big that candle is. I'm used to being on Quantower where I could mouse over the candle and it could tell me the range. But I have to think. 200 to 185. Wow, that's a 15 point candle there. This one, just looking at the meat, that one was 213 to 219. So six points of meat, as I call it. That was a big move to the downside. That tells me people are afraid. I'm going to sell again. Noting the time, it's 11:28 a.m. Coming up on 11:30. Things. So like I'm saying, it knocks me out before I even see the candle move. Does it just mean I have psychic powers? Does it mean Top Step has psychic powers, or does that mean there's a lag in their charts? Normal people would buy a new day low, absolutely, especially if it's that far away from the lower Bollinger Band before 11:30 a.m. But damn it, I just have trauma as a buyer. That's a thing I need to work on. So what do I do here? Those were some big candles to the downside. Do we continue the downward trend? Do I be patient and wait for 11:30? Maybe I'll set a limit order. Sorry guys, I don't, if anyone's actually watching this, I have to focus on my trading. I'm not able to maintain the mental bandwidth to go look at comments on the live stream until after I'm done trading for the day. But I would love to hear from you. Please say hello. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to try to be better about being more... I don't know. I don't want to lie. I'm going to try to be more better. Try to be a better live streamer and trade at specific times. But, you know, I like being a free human being and doing what I want, when I want, how I want. So it's nothing personal. I have a lawsuit going on against a very, very bad ex-boyfriend who turned into a monster. So I've been doing a lot of legal work in the evenings after market closed, and it takes an emotional toll having to... Oh, I'm not even in a damn trade. Rah! Sitting here talking, but placed a limit. Got nowhere near it. Well, kind of. 3 points away from it. That's how weak it is, so I like it. But anyway, emotionally, it's very... I mean, you know already, if you're a trader, how difficult it is emotionally to be a trader. The amount of attention and stress that we go through during the day. The amount of focus required, the amount of discipline required. I'm just going to sell.
Order filled.
Literally selling the low of that candle, market order. Boom, instantly knocked out. Thanks for that. Seriously, fucking thanks for that. That's what I get. Shorting a green candle right after that candle. I wasn't even consciously aware of that candle. I was thinking with my brain. Y'all want to buy? A fast moving average did go back above the EMA there, so okay, fine. I'm gonna try to be a buyer. Watch it blow up in my face, and you guys will understand why I am traumatized to be a buyer. I'm going to try to leave my stop loss in place, but God damn, told you. Look at that. Knocked me out as a buyer, and then the candle goes up. Let's try one more time. What do you think? I'm buying again. Oh my God! Ah! This is why I don't buy. This is why I don't fight the trend. I just gave away a lot of money for no reason. Well, the reason is I'm traumatized from all the times that I go short and it blows up in my face. Like all day yesterday until the end of day. I mean, I am not going to lie. I fight the trend. I see lots of reasons to sell, lots of reasons to go short. But how many times I'm going to have to rewatch this video. How many times did I just go short and take a loss? So then I finally capitulate and buy and take a loss. Wow. I was over 1,000. I don't know if I just lost 300. I definitely lost 250. 250. Man. Okay, we're going to try again. I mean, that was some downward candle. Why did that just happen at 11:33, 11:34? So what's happening here? The EMA is still below the fast. It's below the weighted moving average. Everything's still moving down. Okay, so why did my previous trades that were short get knocked out? It's still gone nowhere near my sell. Nowhere freaking near it. That's a lot of losses in a row for me. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't remember the last time I had 6 losses in a row. My win rate is normally 69 to 89%, and sometimes it's 100%. So look here. So I went short at 216. Took a loss. Short at 217, took a loss. Short at, so first off, let's look and see what 216 and 217 is. Where's that at? What? I don't see. Was that there? I don't remember. I don't want to say where I was on the chart. So for some reason, I'm short at 216, which is this level here. And I took a loss. How is that even possible? And I was short at 217, which is even higher. How is that possible? And then I was short again at 192. Which potentially, depending on what time I did that, it could be a loss. Hold on, let's see. 192.75 at 11:28. Okay, that one deserved a loss for sure because there was upward candles. I'm feeling flushed. That was like literally 6 losses in a row. Being short, being long. Getting upward wicks on all these candles that are outside the Bollinger Band. Here, I'll buy at the high, and I'm going to move my stop even down lower. Probably a horrifying mistake. I don't want to do that. I'll move it just to the bottom of that candle. Okay, you can run to the moon now. The EMA did go higher. Let me show you what I'm looking at. My little blue crosses, they turned around and they started going higher. They're above this blue line. They're above the yellow line. So everybody's a happy little buyer now. I'm going to move my stop loss from 28 ticks to break even. So I'm being a grown up buyer. Oh my God, I went long. That is so not me. And I'm like, whew, here's where like I really will start to sweat because my brain is always screaming sell, 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 especially right here at the slow moving average, especially since we just sold so much. My brain is literally screaming sell, sell, sell. Take your 28 ticks, 31 ticks, take it. But I'm working on my therapy. I'm going to even turn off my take profit. Maybe it'll run the whole rest of the day, right? I'm literally... Okay, I'm going to move my TP up back to that AMA. You can see I'm not getting my 30 ticks. I really don't want it to knock me out if it's going to keep going up, because this is an absolute Achilles of mine. Going long and not... Like, going long, number one, is an Achilles. Letting a winner run long, absolutely an Achilles. Because I don't normally just make it, take it, grab it. That's a whole $160 right there. I'm moving my stop loss to that, or my TP to the 18 ticks. So I'm getting something. So here's where everybody has to decide. Are we going to have a change of heart and scream higher now? Looks like it. This is history, like literally for me, guys. If you're watching this, you should be so proud of me, because this is not my usual jam at all. At all. I'm going to try so hard to be a good little buyer. Oh my God, it's already up $340. 30 ticks. I never hold this long. Seriously, this is a miracle of miracles. Oh, what's happening? This is why I'm trying so hard to focus on the process, which is a new process of mine. Here, I'll move it to the midpoint of that box. 48 ticks. Hold on, let me move my box down to the high of that candle. I'm talking about this candle over here, see? Around 206. It can absolutely go up. So let me tell you why I've started watching recently and why this is a really big deal for me. Like I said, I have trauma from my very first trade like 20 freaking years ago. I bought shares in a MP3 music player, ticker EDIG, eDigital. And they made like MP3 music players. This is back in the day of Napster, or even before Napster, if any of you are old and been around a long time. I started buying it at $3.85 a share. This is like literally my very first trade. And I was on the Yahoo Finance message board. Oh, if you're going to be this close, you might as well get all the way up there. Come on. Anyway, the guys on the little Yahoo Finance message board, meaning if you don't ever on Yahoo, Yahoo used to be a really big deal back in the day. I'm going to have to grab this or reverse. Take it. Give it to me, baby. That was some money. $375. Anyway, so Yahoo Finance, I'm going to sell, which is probably dumb, but there was other guys in eDigital who were buying at like 50 cents a share, 40 cents a share, $1 a share. And I would talk to them while I was trading, and they were all so excited and so giddy. I mean, oh my God, they were jumping out of their skin, talking about how they were all going to go buy Corvettes. I remember this one guy talking about how he wanted to buy a yellow Corvette. This is back around I don't know if it was 1997 or 1998. Long time ago. And, I mean, like the whole message board was just blowing up all day long with these guys talking about how they were going to go buy Corvettes. And that stock that I got in at $3.85, I kept buying and adding size up to $24. And this was my very first trade, and I was excited. I didn't buy enough shares to think about buying a Corvette. That didn't even cross my mind. But when you're buying a couple thousand shares at 50 cents a share, and you're riding it up to $24 a share, hell yeah, you're going to go buy a Corvette. See, I knew not to sell that. I was early, because it might run all the way back up to the damn midline. Damn it. So here's where I gotta... It's gonna knock me out. like I said, I had a winning trade as a long, and then I immediately decided to short it. Here's the struggle. Anyway, so back to my little story. God, I really want to turn off my stop loss. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I want to turn it off so bad. But I'm gonna keep it there. Anyway, so I rode that stock, added size, bought $3.85 all the way up to $24. The guys are all screaming every day about how they're gonna go buy Corvettes. It was a very exciting, euphoric time for my very first stock trades. And after it hit $24 and it started going down, I kept buying. So I rode that thing for a loser. I don't even remember how far down. I'm going to turn off my stop. Yeah, that's bad, because it would have just knocked me out. Absolutely. So I'm holding a loser down $195. Told you it was going to jump up. Like, I knew I should have bought again. It'll be a big deal if it fails this. This is the midline on the 200. If we turn around and go back down, there's absolutely going to be some fear in the market. Where are we at on the day? What's the NASDAQ doing? Oh, it's down a whole 37 points. Poor little princess. So I could be being dumb. Oh, wow. So I was at a $200, $190 loss. Now I'm only out 70. Badass. See? Good thing I turned off that stop. That means you just failed it. That means there's fear in the market. I love it. Get on down, James Brown. Oh, shit. It can be like a little head fake where it's so strong it just kissed the fast and went back up. Am I celebrating too soon? Maybe. Anyway, cool. See, the chart doesn't show that I'm in the money. So I need to really not trade off the chart, which is shocking because it showed that I was in the money before the chart showed I was in the money. So anyway, I held that position, my first trade, and I ended up losing money on it. And I don't even remember how much I lost, but for me, the lesson, it was bad enough that I cried, and it was very emotional for me to have had money and then lost it. And I told myself, I will never, ever, 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 ever again chase a stock higher. I will never, ever, ever, ever chase a stock higher. And that was literally like my first trading experience, and it has stuck with me all these years. And it's caused me a tremendous amount of pain because the NASDAQ loves to go up and up and up and up and up for years at a time. And it's caused me so much pain. Why are you not? Yeah, give me my money. I took that because it potentially could find a floor or support at this slow moving average, which is the 50% of that box. And also I overtrade and I took profits probably earlier than I needed to. But yeah, I kind of want to cry even just telling that story about that loss, about how much that hurt. And the fact that I have held to that never, ever, ever chasing a stock higher. And if you know anything about the NASDAQ and the markets the last, 25 years, you know it always goes up. And it's hurt me so bad. So, yeah, trauma. Crying tears literally right now thinking about it. The amount of pain I have endured having that mindset or experience and or telling myself that has caused me to have a hard short bias, and the only time I ever buy would be like you just saw earlier, right? There's been a lot of selling, and sometimes, you know, things get kind of overdone. It's down at the 200 Bollinger Band. Like, it was time to buy. So now we've got a higher low here. But also you can see this midline is acting as a lid, and it brought it back down. So what to notice here, let me show you something since you guys might be new traders. This yellow line is the fast moving average. The cream colored line is the slow moving average. Let me draw a line for you. The intersection right here of the fast and the slow, I'm going to make this green. I mark that off as a place to note that intersection of the fast and the slow. The other line I notice right here is where the EMA crosses the fast. And if you notice, when you came back over to retest, that held as a, it never even got that low. And this one right here served as a low. It's like layers of support. You need to be aware of that. It's taken me years to learn these things. So, you got to hear story time. Got to hear me cry. And it's marching up. I explained why it's marching up with this dotted green line, and here I am sitting here not buying because of my trauma. Like, I've got to, this is where I'm in a practice account right now. I've got to not, I need to break, let's put it that way. I need to break that habit or the mindset of not chasing higher, because my hold time is so short. You know, that thing that gave me the trauma, that was something I held for days, if not weeks. Let's see, my bias is to sell, and I'm selling. Even though we did just get a higher high. It was a higher high, marched straight up. I'm going to move my stop loss to the top of that square. Actually, to the top of that candle there. So if it's a loss, it's only small. The market's got to decide. It's going to be a fight here. And you guys love to freaking buy. Like I said, at any freaking price. But right now, it's going to be a battle between this slow moving average and that's the 200 midline, which is pointing down. So it's pointing down, tells me we want to sell. But the near term 50 moving average is pointing upward. So who's going to win? Whoa! Oh, it hit my TP that fast. Score, mommy. Beautiful. I don't even know where that was, but that was money. I need to hear a ka-ching every time when I make money. I need to, is there a sound? I want to hear a ka-ching every time I make money. How do you do that? Is that a thing? I think that's a thing that I could have set in my Quan Tower. I would like the extra auditory cue. I need to suggest that as a thing. Need a ka-ching on winning trade, because that just reinforces money, 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 which keeps mood and mind happy. All right, well, that didn't suck. Okay, so now what? Again, we're getting possibly a higher low. Maybe. So I hope you understand why I have this trauma, and I'm trying to break it because I have been hurt so many times the last 3 years as someone who always wants to sell, like just by nature. And I'm basically like a one-armed boxer. I might be, I mean, this is just talk. I'm not saying this is true, but I could be the very best short of all time on a 15-second chart, right? Like in theory, let's pretend that's true. But it does me no good if the market just screams higher day after day after day after day after day after day. This was a bad entry. Selling below the short, below the fast, below the slow. If I make money off this, it's because the market's that weak. I'm going to move my stop loss lower to the top of that box. Be beautiful. Hell fucking yeah. Oh, you know what? This is going to be so good. I'm going to turn off my take profit. Where's that at? You're down 54 ticks. I'll take that. That's fine. I'll allow it.
Order filled.
Wait, what just happened? What just happened? Oh. What? So my stop loss was set 11 ticks higher. It was set up here somewhere. And it filled me with a $15 profit. What the fuck? I don't understand. In theory, if it was going to hit my stop loss for an 11 tick loss, it should have marked a loss, number 1. But the trade was a good positive winning trade. I don't understand how that got hit. I hope you see what I'm saying. If it was a loss, it should have been marked as a loss. If it was a winning, great fucking trade, like we see it playing right now, and I'm getting knocked out of my positions. That's the second time today I'm being knocked out of a badass trade. That pisses me off. God damn it. Fuck, now I'm sitting here and I'm not making money. I'm knocked out of my trade. And it's forcing me to chase it lower. Okay, hold on. Let me mark my box off there. The low of the left. That's the high right there. That makes me mad. Rah! Yeah, I put on a killer trade and you just knock me out for no reason. Why is that happening to me? Why'd I get knocked out? Okay, we got the meat of the candle at a lower low. Coming up on noon, pay attention to what time it is if I have one thing to tell you. Anything can happen, especially at noon. I'm going to avoid trading right now because I don't need a 200 tick candle blowing up in my face. It makes me mad. Ugh. See, I had the great trade. Why the hell did I get knocked out? Why? Okay, so new low on the day. Remember I said something earlier about how in the past it'll put on like 15 new day highs during a certain day, and I said I wanted 15 new day lows. Are we just getting started? I don't logically it makes sense to buy here, because here's the 200 lower Bollinger Band. This time it went below and to the outside left of it. Normally that's a super good buy entry. Even this one right here. So anything, let's say below this green, the green dotted line should be a great entry to go long. I just don't want to trade. Are we at noon yet? Okay. Now we're at noon. I want to wait for the noon chaos. Probably missed. Obviously, like, don't want to sell the exact low of the day, right? But I also don't want to buy it because the trend is down. Like, it would just be too easy if you can just buy the day low. I don't have that kind of luck. Right, Toby? All right, I'm going to move the height of my box lower. And this little box thing, I'm telling you, it's a new thing I just started doing recently. It's giving me perspective. I really like it. I've never seen it anyone else trade with one like this. But I like it. Just keeps me kind of focused in on what's happening right now and not what it did all morning or what it did yesterday or what I think is coming or what I think is happening, because that kills me. So note what just happened. In theory, could have bought the day low right here at noon, right? We were talking about it, but I decided to stay out of the way. So at that 12 o'clock candle, there was a big up move. So it went from... I can't tell where I'm at. So let's say it went from about 185 all the way to 195. So there was a 10-point move up, 40 ticks. And the move was to short that at 30 seconds. See, that's why I say you don't fight the trend. You don't fight the freaking trend. I'm really starting to grow up, and my God, I have got to become consistently profitable just any freaking day now. Any day now, my God. I don't see how I can trade like this and trade so well. I'm really tempted to buy right here, though. I'm always like the first person to catch that falling knife.
Order filled.
When I do buy, that's the circumstance where I buy. Like, new day low. That's like the third test of the low. Watch it blow up in my face. I'm going to be a good girl and leave my stop loss on. Probably a bad entry. But if you just look at the chart, third test of the low, we're below that dotted green line. We're at the bottom of my box. Right? Like, if there was a good time to buy, that would be it. Oh, I really want to turn off my stop loss because I don't want to get hit. I'm turning it off. You're supposed to trade with stop losses in place for your safety and protection. So if it decides to have a 20-point fall, I'll be protected. But you can see already twice today, I put on a great trade. It goes and knocks me out of my trade and then continues the direction I want it to go. It's happened twice. So fuck you. I'm not going to let you knock me out of my trade. So let's see if we can get back to the midline of my square. Let's see if we can get above that. That blue line is the linear weighted moving average, I believe. My little EMA crosses are climbing higher. Another thing that I just started noticing recently, let me zoom in here. If you look at the bottom, normally, okay, so let me back up. Normally when I trade, I look at this end of the candle, like the top. These green, see where these wicks are? For years and years and years, I have been fixated on those wicks on that end of the candle. I need to turn off my take profit because this could be a big one since it's a noon candle. Anyway, for years, this is gold I'm about to give you. So for, actually, let me move my stop loss up. Oh, I don't have a stop loss. Hold on. Let me move up so I'm locking in at that EMA. So I'm going to at least get 10 ticks. It got to that midline on my box, that pink, the 50%. Okay, so let me spit it out. So the end of the candle, these upward wicks, that's what I've always, it's going to knock me out. Of freaking course. I've always focused on this end of the candle. But recently, I started looking at the other end of the candle. So let me show you. It's going to knock me out and keep going higher. So here's what I'm going to chase. See, motherfucker knocked me out and starts going up. I hate stops. So what I was trying to say is back here is when I was talking. Okay, so you can see, let's look at the other end of the candle. See how these wicks are down and down and down? I never look at those, or I never, for years, have never looked at that end of the candle. I've always looked at the top to see where it's going, the direction it's going. And I could see like these upward wicks showing like people are buying. But the reason I'm bringing this up is if you look at the bottom of this candle right here, the one that I have the little hand on, see how there's no downward wick? See how it's closed? That means there was so much buying pressure, nobody was even trying to sell on that wick. And the next candle had one little tiny downward wick, but look at the next candle, no downward wick. The next candle, no downward wick. That's the clue that there's so much buying pressure, you can just keep on buying. Hold on, let me move my stop loss up. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to move that. I gotta draw that back where it goes. Uh-oh. Hold on. So I hope that makes sense, everything I just said about the reason why I enter. And the reason I bring that up, the bottom, the end of those wicks, the end of these candles is important because it's helping me increase my hold time. It's a visual cue and it's giving me confidence that yes, I can stay long, I can stay long, I can stay long, I can stay long, I can stay long. When there's no downward pressure on these wicks. But see, right now, we're getting downward pressure on those wicks. Knocked me out. It foretells the price action. Do you see what I'm saying, y'all? So, I mean, that's a huge thing for me to be able to hold a trade for that long. Granted, I was talking to you and I wasn't really watching that trade because I'm already up on the day. I don't know if that trade duration was 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Look, I even had one a minute ago for 5 minutes and 34 seconds. That's super long for me. But that 221 is a long time for me. And look, it just failed it. There's weakness in the market today. Yeah, seriously, all these trades today, that longest hold time was the 5 minute one. And then that 221. So that's a really long hold time for me. My average, did I already tell you today? My average is like 106 trades a day. I'm normally in and out and in and out. And there's like anxiousness that goes with that, like thinking I need to act quickly or being afraid that my gains are going to be, gosh, I keep grabbing those wrong candles. Let me mark that green back off again where it goes. That was from over here on this side where the fast crossed the slow. And I grabbed this other one also and moved it on accident earlier. That's where the linear weighted moving average crossed the fast. So that's important because, you know, you're not looking at those candles when you're all the way over here. But you need to know, I use it as a mental cue to know people were buying at these levels before. And I've never seen anyone else mark up their charts like that. Look, we got a higher low. The Bollinger Band is pointing up. Where's my box? So again, just so you can see, this midline, the one with the little dots and the kind of pale pink color, it's acting as a lid. See back here? It acted as a lid. Back here, it acted as a lid. Back here, it was higher. And it should have held as a floor. That's why these are hugging to it, trying to hold it as a floor. But it failed. So that makes the downtrend escalate. And you see the size of those big candles there? Because the buyers can't believe it. Because the NASDAQ always just goes up. These are the things I've learned over the years. I've never heard another trader explain these things before. Just letting you know. Even though I have not yet taken my first payouts, I've been eligible for payouts multiple times, but not taken them because there was not very much money there, not very much cushion. And I wanted to grow the account balance before taking a payout. But ultimately I ended up blowing the account. So if you don't think my heart is not broken and sad and struggling over having the skill set that I think I have, the skill set that I have on certain days at certain times, and not being able to profit financially, it's just killing me. Because I have done this for long enough. I should be raking in giant money. I mean, like the trading on this live stream, I'm trading calmly, consciously. Gotta keep dragging that. I would think professionally. I absolutely deserve and am so due for a payout. So it's 12:13 p.m. I look at the clock to take note because, like I just said a minute ago, this level has acted as a ceiling so many times. My brain wants to sell it, but I've been through enough pain the last, from yesterday. With NASDAQ, people just buy at any freaking price. See, we've now tested that low how many times today? We just test that low 4 times. I'm going to call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. and now we've broken through to the other side. It's partially because it's noon. But the fact that it broke higher, it's either a fabulous short, well, you know the rest. I don't even need to say it. No idea if there's economic news today. It is Friday. And here's my Achilles, like, okay, it's going up. It broke through to the other side. Here's where everybody chases, everybody buys. But my brain is just like, ugh, vomit. Don't chase it higher. Don't chase it higher. It's going to hurt you. You should short. You should sell. But I've been hurt so many times. Like right now, if I was to put on a short, look at that. You get a nice little candle. At least I'm waiting for it. I can't help myself. I'm going to sell.
Order filled.
Oh, it's 12:15 p.m. So big 15-minute candle. Everyone got out of the way. That's why that happened. This makes sense now. Okay, I'm gonna move my stop loss down to the top of that candle. Actually, even lower.
Order filled.
Whatever. $60. I'll take it. I wanted to let it keep going, but so the reason this marched straight up and got to break through that midline is because it was almost 12:15, because nobody wants to be short before a 15-minute candle. Everybody's always a buyer, and as shorts get murdered, like I was saying, I've been murdered so many times. What I call this, all these green candles, like me trying to put on a short right here at that moving average, the midline, that would be basically me jumping in front of a train, just getting run over. Like earlier, I brought up about how I put on a trade and I didn't wait till, I don't know if it was 11:50 or 9:50, whatever time it was. You get run over because of the time of day. And I'm really trying, like I said, to be moving more slowly, more cautiously. So right here, we've got the EMA and the linear weighted moving average above the fast, which is above the slow. It's got bullish all over it, but do I really want to buy? Yesterday, y'all would have absolutely bought. I'm going to buy. I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death to buy, but there are some key moving averages up higher that maybe they'll jump up and try to kiss those, right? Right? Okay, I'm working on my Achilles. I'm going to do something that's uncomfortable for me. Hey, Toby, you're a good boy. Come here, Goo. My good little baby. You're a good boy. Rah, 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 my little goo. Rah, rah, rah. So my brain is just screaming short. We're up near the upper Bollinger Band. Those candles all show selling. But that EMA is climbing higher. Oh, see, I'm 6 ticks out of the money. Oh, I tried to be a buyer. Literally at the upper edge of my box. We're going to find out if the NASDAQ is strong. If it's making a comeback. These are the exact kind of trades that kill me. But I'm leaving my stop loss in place. Oh, it's just gonna take it from me. Toby. So I just gave away that money. Man, I tried to be a fucking buyer. because yesterday y'all would have absolutely gone up and you would have absolutely made money yesterday. I'm going to buy again. This is how hard-headed I'm going to be, because this goes against my nature to buy. But we are above that midline. We're at 12:19 p.m. Central Time. There's key moving averages higher, and we just bounced off the 200 lower Bollinger Band like 4 or 5, 6 times. We're due to go to the upper Bollinger Band. Oh, watch it just give away the money. Toby, be cool, dude. Toby, dude. Why are you being a baby? It's gonna knock me out. I'm gonna be mad. See, y'all hurt me so bad. Hold on, I'm gonna hit cancel orders. Y'all hurt me so bad yesterday. Because yesterday I was trying to sell and sell and sell. And I got slaughtered until the last hour or so of the day. So I remember that pain, and that's why I'm putting on these 2 trades I just did to buy near the high of my box, near the high of the recent price action, because I got annihilated yesterday. Literally annihilated. You guys just bought and bought and bought and bought and bought, and the market makers love to bait the shorts into thinking that, you know, we're gonna win, we're gonna keep going lower, it's gonna be great. Bullshit. It's always a head fake. Like that we just had all this really strong selling the last hour or however long that was. Guaranteed it's a head fake. Watch this bitch go back up and go hit some new day high. Okay. Here I am. I'm going to creep my little take profit along the EMA. We are at the upper Bollinger Band. There's been a lot of selling, but up here is a 666 moving average. This lighter green is a 444. You knocked me out. Here's that upper Bollinger Band, the 200 upper Bollinger Band. I'm looking for it to go there. But of course, it had to knock me out. Give me $50 profit. See, this was just like a reversion to the mean. Those are still climbing up. I'm going to buy again. Is it strong? No. But that was a head fake. See that one long wick? Those EMAs, these little tiny baby blue crosses, they're climbing up and up and up. I'm going to move it up to that one. That was a $20 loss. Are you kidding me? I'm going to be mad if this goes up. That means I overtraded and I'm fooling around touching these moving averages. And I need to just put my hands in my lap and lean back. Yep. See, it's going to be slow going, but it's going to go up. I'm going to buy again. I'm literally buying the high. Because see, now all the shorts who just got baited for the last, I don't know, hour or however freaking long, all the people who were selling here and selling here and selling here, they just got the FU. And that's always me. That is always, 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 always me. And I'm tired of it, and I never want it to happen again, and I don't want to be a one-armed boxer like I just was telling you earlier today. It's one thing to be a super good short. It's one thing to have some skills as a short, but the market, the NASDAQ just goes up and up and up. Like yesterday, just annihilated me non-stop. Can I grab that up? I'm going to pull this up and grab some of that.
Order filled.
Because I could see it selling from there. There's a whole $110 just for clicking some buttons. See, like I said, we just danced all along that low Bollinger Band. This red stripe, it was due. It needed to, like, you know, reset, recalibrate, go back up to the top. It didn't quite get there, but close enough, right? So now we can continue going back down. There is absolute, I won't say absolute, but there is weakness in the charts today. But that explains what the current price action was. Now it'll probably turn around and go set 15 new highs for the day. That's probably what's going to happen. I'm telling you, I'm angry, traumatized, upset, and I'm trying to break those habits of always being short. I'm proud of myself. I bought high, and I made $110 because I bought high, which is insane. That is not how I roll. But this is a good trading day so far. I'm doing well. Toby Ness, what's happening? I'm not looking at the chart. I'm looking at my Facebook. Yeah, so it found it. It's going down. It's going to try to find support. So here was where I'm sitting here. I'm wondering, like, okay, I'm up basically $1,700 in a practice account. I'm being slow, methodical, calm, literally trading one contract at a time. There's been zero stress here. Why am I not making a ridiculous amount of money, like $1,700 a day every day? Why is it that when I pass my tests and get funded, that I end up blowing them instead of making $1,700 a day? Is it literally because I didn't buy and I would fight? I don't know. But this is why I'm live streaming, so I can record my habits so I can fix them. Like, I'm done. Like, I can't lose anymore. I mean, the pain in my heart, the distress of my life, the suffering. Like, there's a reason I'm not on camera right now, and it's not because I think I'm ugly and super gross to look at. It's because I don't need you to see what my living conditions are like right now. If I still had my car, I'd be living in my car. I didn't have my mom, but I ended up selling my car and moved back with my mom. And if you think I'm not destroyed and embarrassed and horrified by that reality, you don't know me. I'm absolutely wrecked, but I believe in my trading. I believe I have the skill. I believe I have the potential. So like I said, it's making another run for that upper Bollinger Band. 12:29 p.m. Don't enter until 12:30. Or actually, I'll put a... Yeah, I owned my house outright. Like, my divorce was 4 years ago. And at the time, I owned my house outright. I owned my cars outright. We had 2 acres. My business was making 6 figures a year. I had just started trading after like a 15-year break from trading, and I grew my portfolio. It was a tiny account, but I grew it 40% that year. And the SEC came after me, telling me I needed to fill out a large trader ID because I traded so much. I was, that year after I sold my house, I traded $250 million in transactions in a 9-month period. And that's when my boyfriend, after my divorce, started, went from being like the best, kindest, most loving man who ever loved me the most ever in my life, and I was so happy, turned into an absolute monster, hunting me, stalking me, death threats against me, death threats against my kids, death threats against my ex-husband. He got over $75,000 from me, cash, and almost my entire 2,700 square foot house worth of property. And I'm telling you, the emotional chaos and destruction by that ended up impacting my trading. Look at that, you buyers stepped up. Oh shit, I'm gonna say cancel order, hold on. Oh shit, I hit reverse position. I don't know what just happened there. I wanted to hit cancel the order, but I panicked and I think I hit reverse position. I don't know what just happened there, because again, I'm sitting here talking about some severely traumatizing shit. And
order filled.
I ended up having my first blown account, which I had never blown an account before in all my years of trading. It was on a Fed meeting day. And that's why I decided to stop trading stocks and I moved over to futures. And it's changed my life forever. And I've had to start dealing with prop firms. And it's been hard to not work for 4 years because of all the trauma and the abuse and everything I went through. I don't want to talk about it right now. You can tell in my voice it's upsetting me. And that's part of the reason why I'm not always live streaming lately when I'm dealing with my lawsuit stuff. Okay, this dotted gold line is the original 25% range for the day's price action this morning when I started trading around 11 or whatever. So we just retraced all the way up to 25%. Look at you. Trying to push up, and I'm on the wrong side. Alright, it's going up, 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 over, up, over, up. We're going to turn around and go down, or are y'all really going to keep buying? See these little blue dots, those little blue crosses? They're still going up. We might be getting some selling. And I did not add to my trade. because I was only like 4 ticks out of the money, something like that. It wasn't much, but it can still go either direction right here. Obviously it could do that at any time, but if it's going to start selling off again, that would be a good place. Because basically started running up since noon. So we're 30 minutes into an uptrend. I'm going to move my stop loss down. So at the least I get 5 ticks, but maybe it won't stop me out.
Order filled.
God damn it!
Order filled.
I'm getting sick of this, that it keeps knocking me out of my trades, which end up being killer, absolutely beautiful trades because I've moved my stop loss so tight. And then I put on my short because I'm mad. And it's a bad entry, so I have to again drag my stop loss down. So I'm mad I got knocked out of that because that was actually a really good trade. Let's see, you gonna hold the middle of my box? So we already cleared all this area, and it might find support here. All right, let's see what happened. So I took a loss of 135 and then I made back 120. Lame. Shouldn't have been a loss of 135, number one. It was a really good trade. This is why you have to pay attention to what time it is. You have to pay attention to where the market is in relation to like the opening levels. And again, I don't know if they were the opening. I wasn't watching that early. I didn't sit down to start trading till like 11 a.m. or so Central. But those were the highs and lows of the day when I started trading, and clearly somebody somewhere also is watching those same levels. So not only did we have the upper 200 upper band on the Bollinger Band, which I'll draw a little circle, which would have made this a killer short right there. Just a beautiful fall. And I covered right there because this green line is the 94 moving average, and yesterday, and you can see right now, it's held as a floor. Even though we failed the 50, that's this line here. That's the slow moving average. Failed that 50, it dropped through it. The 94 came through to save the day and hold it as a floor. And we're still above that midline. So bullishness, I think, remains intact. But it's getting sketch. We'll see how it reacts right here. I'm going to tell you how I see the markets. I see, like just to use my box here, I see the low of the box here, by the way, is that low there on the left, that low of that candle on the left. Just to encompass the recent price action. I see the market, like NASDAQ in particular. Let me drag this lower. It's like there's a bull, a wild, crazy, insane bull running from this end as hard as he can to the lower end as hard as he can. He just runs back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in between these levels. And sometimes these moving averages act as a wall. Like let's say this lime green one right here, or It's kind of a grass green or a pine green. When he got here, it basically acted like a wall. He couldn't break through it. And absolutely, this pink right here was the 222, which most people probably have marked off the 200 moving average. That held as a hard floor. So, you know, bull can't get through here. It's a good support. So then the bull turns around and runs the other direction as hard as he can, as far as he can, as long as he can, until he gets to another wall. So the question is, like this gold line, that 25% range, that acted as a lid back here. Toby, stop. Someone's using a weed eater outside. Is this going to act as a wall again? Does that make sense? Running as hard as he can that way to bash his face on that wall. Couldn't bust through. Let's run through this way. Try to bash through this wall. This purple line is a 999 moving average. And again, I've never seen anybody else put all these moving averages on their chart, but you would be amazed how often they provide visual cues to me with my mindset about serving as walls. So I'm able to just sit and watch, and it's not emotional, it's not personal. That bull is still running this way, but like my brain is screaming sell. I'm going to, and I took too long talking to hit the button. Not a good entry. Could have done better. So now I say I'm going to sell. There's a big candle down. I'm still 7 ticks out of the money just from entering the trade at market order. So even though the bull kind of bounced off that wall, the buyers are like, no, Michelle, no. We buy at any price. We like to keep going higher and higher and higher, no matter what. Now I'm a whole 7 ticks in the money. Had to wait for it. Gonna drag this down. Actually, I'm gonna drag it down to there. I don't think it's filling me where I want to get filled. In my mind, I'm dropping that to get a limit fill. But I think it just gives me a mark. Look, it showed me a loss of $10. I can't. That was clearly a winning trade. That was up, I think I saw 17 ticks. But I'm taking a loss. This is why I prefer trading on Quantower, because that doesn't happen when I'm trading on Quantower. And I think it's because the data feed is different. I think I'm not getting the chart to reflect what's actually happening in real time. I think there's a lag or a delay. Something. Or else I'm executing differently. I don't know. But that should have actually been, I don't know, 10 ticks at least. If it was up 17. This is why I have to go back and rewatch the video. And there's nothing you can do trading with a prop firm to complain about your fills. So now I don't know what to do. I was just short. This white line is the slow moving average. I did not mean to do that. God damn it. Alright, I'm going to sell the low. So what's the lesson here? I took a loss on that trade, which was a really good trade that I didn't need to take a loss, and it's because I moved my stop so tight. I'm gonna move it here. 12:44 p.m. Things could go crazy coming up on a 15-minute candle. I try to drop you at 21 ticks, not 17 ticks. There's got to be some setting that's screw you on where you drop your limit order. So I make $80. Look at this killer trade. That's over trading. So over trading, moving my stops, caused me to take a loss and only get $80 on a trade that was a killer freaking trade. So $80, if it was a 21 tick profit, 21 times 5 is $105. So it should have been $105 in my mind, but they gave me 80. What's 17 times 5? I don't have that in my brain. That's $85. I didn't even get the full 17 ticks. That pisses me off. What is that about? Some days you need that extra $5. I'm not kidding. So many days. So it bounced off the midline here. So again, just to note, that bull bounced off the 94 moving average, ran all the way up here to the purple. What did I say that moving average was? 999. That was a wall, and it just fell straight down to the midline of the 200. So that's probably like 100 moving average. I think this green line's the 94. Oh, that's 444. Is this one the 94? Yeah. That's upsetting. Especially knowing that I decided to sell up here. Definitely buy up here. And took a freaking loss. And look at that trade, how beautiful it was. All I needed to do was sit on my hands. That's all I needed to do was sit on my hands. But instead I took a whopping 80 minus 10. I took a whopping $70 off a killer trade. That's horrifying. That's really bad. Note how the end of this candle still shows nobody buying.
Order filled.
I went long. Because that candle did show somebody buying. Fighting the trend. I know you NASDAQ. Everybody loves to buy. It's the bottom of my box. It's holding. Bull's trying to see if he can break through it. What do you think? I'm still at a 5-tick loss. My entry's that bad. Even though I'm buying on a red candle. I wonder how much money I've thrown away with these market orders. So even though I said I bought on a red candle, I'm still losing on this trade, even though there's 3 green candles. So the bull's trying to break through that. Is he going to win? Then he's got to break through the fast moving average. Can he do it? Of course he can. It's the NASDAQ. So those EMAs are climbing up now. Let me move this up so I'm not taking a loss. Please don't knock me out. I'm literally going to sit on my hands. Watch it knock me out. No, I'm going to manifest positive. Watch it run and run and run and run the rest of the day while I just literally sit on my hands. I bet I take a loss. What do you bet? My stop loss is set for 2 ticks. In theory, I should get 2 ticks worth of profit, right? I should get at least $10.
Order filled.
That's what I got, $10. Okay. And it's not going to let me just stay in a winning trade, right? Look, we're at 23,200. I think it's going to go up because that's a big fat round number. That's the midline is 200. Your NASDAQ, you just go up. Get those downward, those wicks on those candles. Shows people are buying, but people are selling also. It's a fight. Ooh. It's definitely a fight. 12:50 p.m. I should have waited till after 12:50. I'm going to turn my, where's my thing that says cancel orders? Great, you don't even have it on the screen. So now I'm in big danger. I mean, 36, 39 tick loss. And I turned off my stop. That's the games they play. 12:50 p.m. I understand if the bull couldn't break through there, but so great. So here's where I have screwed up. I put on a trade before 12:50 p.m. I bought thinking it's going to hold 200. And those EMAs are going down, so it's clearly selling. I'm going to buy again. Yeah, you're right.
Order filled.
Crazy, right? I'm doing it again. I'm buying 3 contracts. First time I've done this, and this could be how I blow accounts and how I blow up. Fighting the trend, but being aware of how everybody loves to buy the freaking NASDAQ. I could make another run for that midline, but you know what? Where am I going to call Uncle? Where am I going to... These candles are trying to... Somebody's trying to buy besides me. Alright, I don't want to be dumb and blow up all my money. We're literally at the day low, I think. Got a green candle. Got a green candle. I'm 11 ticks out of the money. That EMA is trying to go higher, but it's still... It's trying. I'm literally going to sit on my hands. I'm at a loss of 225. And the next thing you know, I'm in the money. So what I call this is fuckery based on 12:50 p.m. They took advantage of the situation and let it sell ferociously. But we're coming up. Note the bottom of these candles. If there's selling pressure or not. We got 3 green candles in a row. That one here doesn't have any selling pressure. This one did. This candle here has no selling pressure. Oh, no it does. I'm still out of the money on 3 freaking contracts. So how did my market order... I mean, I just don't get it. Why are my prices so bad? Was I buying up here? All right. Definitely on the wrong side. 12:54 p.m. I'm going to be coming up on the 1 o'clock hour here. I'm fighting the trend. I think buyers want to step up. I mean, I stepped up. So what does that mean? If the girl who's always short started buying. I have a contrarian mindset. These EMAs are still below the fast. It's looking rough. Look how far we are outside my box. These candles are all showing buying pressure. It's got to break above the EMA. Kind of been shocked by this. Buyers are definitely trying, but you know what? We're fighting the trend being a buyer. I'm not supposed to fight the trend, but I am calm. I'm not emotional. I'm not crying. But what did I do? I put on 3 contracts, even though all day long I've bought 1 contract. I cannot buy anymore. I cannot add any more to a loser, but all the hard work I've done to make the money I've made trading 1 contract at a time with stops. Look at how I'm just giving away $600 right now by having 3 contracts. Just giving away massive money bleed out by thinking and putting on a trade before 11:50 a.m. or 12:50 a.m. It's now 12:56. 30 ticks out of the money. Do you guys really want to be short before 1 p.m.? Now 16 ticks instead of 30. EMA is crossing above. We got 2 green candles. One that shows a reversal. But look at that. We're going to break above that fast. 12:57. New buyer's going to step up. We're going to continue the trend, or are we going to have a change of character? Do I go ahead and take a $300 loss and just live to fight another day? Because I've realized that sometimes it's best to take the $300 loss because it allows you to just get back on and trade another winning trade. Okay, so here's the question. Do I just get out and take like a 9-tick loss and lose 120? Because it is very scary what could happen at the 1 o'clock hour. I would like to have the guts to be able to hold on to a winner, but I'm too scared. We're right at the point in the chart where it should fail and go the other direction. And it can go either way hard. So my trade, look, I was barely in the money. I might need to take the loss just to be safe. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off this blue line right here, which shows where the EMA is. And as long as that keeps going up, I'll stay in the trade. See, I don't have a stop in place. I'm too scared. I'm too scared. I'm too scared. I'm too scared. Okay, I'm gonna move. So I'm getting at least 3 ticks, okay? I'm alive now, I'm safe because I put on course. So I did not take a loss holding 3 contracts. Looks like I made 140 minus 95. I don't know. 45 whole freaking dollars. Woo. I just don't want to be on a trade at 1 o'clock p.m. Too many times I've been hurt. Especially 3 contracts. I don't want to give away all the good work I've done today. I need to go back and rewatch the video because that was holding on to a loser for a while, which is not good. This was way up there. So if I got out at 200 on the dot, it's now 204. I could have just stayed in that trade. It would have been fine. Might run the rest of the day. I'm gonna move this line right here, the green line, because that is where the slow moving average crossed that, which is the 50, crossed that midline of the 200, so I'd call that the 100. So the 50 crossed the 100 in a positive buying, and I think that's why that level held, but there was sketch. Wow. Just imagine I could have been long 3 contracts. I held through all the pain. And then the second I get to like break even, I get scared out of it and I take it. Instead of just holding 3 contracts and just letting it go, go, go. Can do better. That's a bummer. I'm gonna sell.
Order filled.
And why did I sell? Because it's my nature, it's my temperament. That's my go-to. But look what just happened. I'm gonna turn off that stop again. Ugh, God. I hate the way everything jumps all over my screen. Nothing but straight up buy power, but I sold. I'm not gonna add size. I'm not gonna add size. I'm not gonna add size. looking at my email, not even looking at the trade that's running. So that means I should probably stop trading for the day because I'm getting lackadaisical and not paying attention to my work. So green, 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 sea of green. So I jumped in front of a train that's pushing higher. I thought those green levels might hold as a lid, but it is now the 1 o'clock hour. I just looked at my Instagram and there's like 20 likes on my post from today, so that's exciting. That's how few people look at my stuff. All right, so let's see. Coming off the lower Bollinger Band area-ish, marching straight up, $140 out of the money. That purple 999 moving average. That orange is 1111 moving average. So we're way up there at some kind of extreme levels on the day. I'm going to sell again. I said I wouldn't, but I'm going to. So here's where I get impulsive. I'm now going to sell 3 short and bet that those big moving averages, as we're pointing downward, will work out for me, even though I'm currently about 3 ticks, 2 ticks, 1 tick out of the money. Looks like it's failing the fast moving average, and the EMA might start rolling down, so let's see what happens. Let's see if the bull runs back here to the midline, or if it's going to turn around and stop right where my trade is. I'm going to try really hard. I don't think I have any stops on. Should have probably taken profit off it, bounced off that. It's taking all my self-control to not grab my take profit. I'm gonna set it right there. Of course it knocked me out. Probably could have done better than I did, but that was nice. No, this white creamy color line is the 50, what I call the slow moving average. This pinky one's the 200, 222. That might hold as a floor. I'm gonna buy.
Order filled.
That zone's gonna be a big fight. So even though I put on buy and there's green candles, it's still either break even to a loss because of a market order. I might need to stop trading for today and go work on my legal stuff or go take a walk or something. Oh, I never set my alarm to stand up and walk every hour or stand up and stretch so I don't have a stroke from sitting too long. I just like trading too much. Okay, so now we got a loser, which is lame. I'm going to take off the stop loss. 1:10 p.m. Y'all aren't going to step up. Kind of surprised that's not holding. That's where the fast crossed the slow right there. That green dotted line. I really want to buy again. How about that?
Order filled.
I'm 10 ticks out of the money on 2 contracts. How many ticks am I going to give this? See if you can get above that pink. So that's the 94. I think that was this like 666 or something. So it's a pretty long-term moving average right there. 444. Ooh, 17 ticks is not good. Toby nice. Trying really hard to hold on to that. It's basically the midline on that box. Huh. Damn it. Okay, this is what I get. I went long on a downtrend and added size, and now I'm hurting. Kind of makes sense if the bull just failed that midline. He wants to keep running more this way. But look, instead of being 17 ticks out of the money, now I'm 10 ticks out of the money. And note again where the low was found. See that green line? That was where the moving averages intersected. So now this EMA is going up. Come on, give me some money. I'm gonna get out and go do something else. I'll go take my dog for a walk. Maybe I should try sitting on my hands and just letting a winner run. I don't know that you can call it a winner. I'm 6 ticks out of the money, damn it. Clearly not a winner. Selling, selling, selling. I think that EMA is still climbing up though. 1:14 p.m. Bunch of green candles. I feel like time just sort of stopped. We're just sort of levitating here. Fast moving averages pointing down. That EMA is basically sideways. It's holding that green line. The 444. You see why I put all the moving averages on my chart? Instead of just looking at candles only, I have a frame of reference to give me confidence in a move. Boy, that climbed all the way up there, and y'all just said, 115 spank. I should have gotten out. Damn it. Not good. You guys gotta turn around and try one more time. I should sell that and take that loss and be done with it. But look at that big candle there. That is a big old candle. Jesus, that's an engulfing candle. I don't see those very often. So there, 1:16 and 15 seconds, we got a candle that's exceeds the highs and lows of all those previous candles. Some big, I guarantee there's some volume buying coming up right there. Fascinating. Man, I'm really liking my little box strategy for my confidence and frame of reference. Look at that. Now my trade turned positive for a second for 2 ticks. It's got to turn around. It's got to break through that 50 moving average. That white. I'm not saying this chart looks bullish because it doesn't. But that is a lot of green, and oh gosh. I should have just gotten out and just been done. But I kind of hard-headed and would like it to give me some money since I held all this time. But I keep going 2, 4, 6 ticks out of the money. 2 red candles. If that green can go up and break above this purple, that's the 144. That'd be very bullish. No, I could just get out and I could take 7 ticks. Let's drag a little stop loss up. That probably took a lot of people by surprise.
Order filled.
Yeah, whatever. Got me my $55. I'm done. I'm going to take a break. This was a perfection trading day. I mean, about as perfect as I could do. If you watched me, thanks. That's very sweet of you. I hope you learned something. I hope you can understand my mindset. Till we meet again. Oh wait, here, let me show you the stats before I stop the live stream. Oh, that's not stats. Win rate 65.79%. Profit factor 2.94. And that's it. I wish there was more stats than that. That's just not enough stats for what I like to see. I like to see, like from Quantar, I can see max winners in a row, max losers in a row. says my average trade direction is 3 minutes 20 seconds, which is longer than normal. Longer than normal. It used to be 2 minutes 35 seconds, so I'm put on almost a whole minute longer. Oh, there are more stats down here. Alright, so my losers, look how fast my losers happen. Within a minute. Which isn't bad. Oh, look at you, pretty little princess. I never use this. Alright, I'll take a screenshot. Alright, I never use this, but I know I've seen lots of people post these, but yeah, see, I traded low and slow and small today. Just trading one contract. I guess at most, I think I had on 3 contracts at once. These other days I'll put on big size. I don't think a thing about it, but I'm trying to be more professional and cool about it. Was that all the stats I needed? I think that's all the stats I needed. So what happened here when we weren't looking? See? Bulls came back. After that candle, that crazy candle, that engulfing candle was big. So just note that was at a 1:16 p.m. And buyers came back and said enough of this going down, we're going up. And after it cleared that midline, ooh, we're going to see. Oh, God, how do I make myself stop? I just love to trade so much, but I'm going to go find something to do. All right. Thanks, guys. Happy trading.